The modulator effect basically adds some modulation in the form of vibrato or tremolo to an audio file. So here is my simple melody in the modulator project. Let's preview that and hear what it sounds like. Some simple piano here. Let's add the modulator effect now, and let's hear the results with the default settings. Definitely got some tremolo going on there. The modulation type between sine and triangle is basically talking about the wave. It really doesn't make that big of a difference, certainly not as much of a difference as the other parameters do. If we increase up the modulation rate, we're going to increase the speed of the vibrato or the tremolo. So let's hear it with an increased modulation rate. Much more warbly here. Let's try it with a very slow, smooth 3 of a modulation rate. So you hear that modulation is definitely slow and arcing rather than kind of like an intense vibrato. So basically you'd adjust the modulation rate depending on the effect you're looking for. If you just had a regular organ track, you could try bumping up the modulation rate and creating kind of like a Hammond organ type sound. Now, modulation depth just makes things wacky. Let me bring up the modulation. Actually, let me just reset the effect here. And basically, let's go ahead and increase the modulation depth quite a bit here. What modulation depth does is it makes everything kind of out of tune and kind of wacky. Basically, the amount of modulation, which makes things kind of go out of tune. Let's listen to what that sounds like. Yeah, that's just zany. Lastly, we have amplitude modulation, which basically allows the volume of the file to be modulated. I'm going to reset this effect. Let's take down modulation rate so we have something a little bit softer and smoother here. And let's increase the amplitude modulation quite a bit, and let's preview that. So it allows the volume to be adjusted as well, and that is the modulator effect.